My stepfather called me worthless at graduation, so I saved his voicemail for the day I bought his dream house. The call came 30 minutes after I walked across the stage. Mom had already fled the ceremony with another of her mysterious migraines, but I knew she couldn't bear watching Dalton's expression during my valedictorian speech. He'd spent 4 years telling everyone at the country club that my education was money, flushed down the toilet. "You think that piece of paper makes you somebody?" His voice was soaked in whiskey and contempt. "You're still the same pathetic kid who couldn't start a lawnmower. That fancy diploma won't change what you really are. A worthless disappointment who'll come crawling back here begging for handouts within 6 months." I sat alone in my cap and gown in the empty gymnasium parking lot and pressed record on my phone. Dalton had bulldozed into our quiet life when I was 14, bringing his construction empire and hair-trigger rage. He owned the biggest development company in 3 counties, but he obsessed over one prize he couldn't claim: the antebellum mansion on Magnolia Street. The Ashworth family had owned it for 5 generations. "That house deserves an owner who understands real craftsmanship," he'd growl every Sunday, deliberately slowing his Mercedes as we passed the wrought iron gates. "Mark my words, I'll make those blue bloods an offer they can't possibly refuse." He made certain I understood I'd never merit anything that magnificent. When I earned admission to Harvard with a full scholarship, he dismissed it as affirmative action. When I graduated magna cum laude, he insisted they probably curved grades for sob stories. His poisonous voicemail became my daily motivation. I played it during endless all-nighters in law school, throughout grueling bar exam preparation, and during my first soul-crushing years at a white shoe firm. Dalton's venom powered every brutal 18-hour workday. 9 years later, I made equity partner. My first phone call was to my real estate attorney. The Ashworth mansion had discreetly appeared on the market. The asking price was astronomical, but I'd been living like a graduate student, banking every bonus while Dalton paraded his wealth. I submitted an offer 40% above asking, complete cash purchase. Closing was scheduled for Wednesday. Tuesday night, I drafted a brief email to Dalton. The subject line read simply, "Appreciation." I attached the executed deed, final closing documents, and one carefully preserved audio file. His graduation night voicemail, saved for 9 years. Wednesday morning, standing in my new hand-carved mahogany foyer, my phone began ringing incessantly. Dalton's contact flashed across the screen. "You arrogant little," he began, his voice trembling with uncontrolled fury. "Thank you," I interrupted calmly, "for teaching me precisely what I was worth." Dead silence filled the line. That evening, Mom appeared at my ornate front entrance. She was clutching a water-stained manila envelope, mascara streaking down her pale cheeks. "He's vanished," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Cleaned out our accounts and disappeared completely. But before he left, he confessed something about your biological father that changes absolutely everything." Her hands trembled violently as she extended the envelope toward me. "The architect who designed this house? He was your real father. And Dalton's known the truth since our very first date." I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the rest down below.